Yes, sir, man. We're back at it again with another P5X video. Y'all know what the vibes is, man. Today's video, I'm going to bring you guys information on the upcoming 3 characters that are going to be put within the game of P5X. And how I'm getting this information, the Battle Pass actually tells you the next 3 characters that are coming and the dates that they're coming as well. But I'm also going to be referring to a Google Doc that someone made, and I will link that Google Doc down below if you want to prepare for multiple units in the future. But of course, I'm specifically talking about the next 3 banner units that are coming. So I'm going to show you this information because I think this is very valuable, especially if you want to plan your pulls ahead. Jesus, all those P's. But for sure, as you can see, we're in the game. All right, we're gonna go over to the battle pass. Now, if you scroll over to tier 20, we have this weapon cache. Now, if this weapon cache also gives you a choice of any of the 4-star weapons for the characters, usually they're best in slot. Also, this is the paid battle pass that I'm looking at as well. But what we're here for, the information, as you can see, is these 3 characters right here, right? This says mystery characters. We don't know who they are, but if you do know their code names, you can kind of get information on what the character is going to do. Now, this character right here is referring to Minami. She is a 5-star medic, one of the best characters in the entire game. Even if you look on Pridewin and you go see the tier list for Pridewin, she's still one of the best sustained in the entire game. She's top 2, so she's going to have a very, very, very longevity period within this game. She's coming July 9th. If you look for the next character, which is codenamed Boo, which is technically Bowie, they just cut it off so you can put a little mystery to it. But Bowie is referring to YUI. She's a 5-star electric character that is an assassin, and she's also coming on July 9th. And the character after them, which is coming July 23rd, is going to be Fox. And as we all know, that is the man Yusuke from Persona 5. Now, I'm going to go over each of these characters' kit individually and give you guys a kind of little insight. That way, if you want to plan your pulls accordingly, you can. The first character that we're going to go over is YUI, and I'm going to talk about the characters that were on her banner when it released on the Chinese version. Now, on the Chinese version, they had Kiyoshi, they had Arai, and they had Kaio. Now, of course, these 4 stars are really good, right? We're still in the beginning phase of Global's release, so naturally these 4 stars are going to be good. Arai herself, obviously this is a 5-star electric unit, so obviously the 5-star units are going to be way better than the 4-star units, right? But of course, Arai is still good, right? I use her for my second team whenever I need electric DPS. I don't have Ryuji currently, but when I do get Ryuji, we gonna move on up to the GOAT. But of course, you can't go wrong with Arai. I'm not too familiar with Kiyoshi. I heard that he's a decent character from the videos that I've seen. I personally haven't pulled him, so I can't play around with him. And of course, Kaio, she's really good, right? She's the only other navigator that we have in the game, so naturally she's going to be good. Now, in terms of YUI herself, she is a 5-star electric unit that follows the assassin path. Her first skill, it deals AoE electric damage. Oh, I'm sorry. It does electric damage to 1 foe. I got it confused with her other skill. Her first skill does 185% electric damage to 1 foe, and if the foe is not afflicted with shock, there's a 63.83 base chance to inflict shock of 2 turns. And of course, as we all know, technicals in this game are really good. If the foe is inflicted with shock, then increase the damage of the skill by 30%. The next skill that she has is an AoE electric damage move, and it does 25% more damage to the main target, which obviously if it's if a party of 3 or a group of 3 you're going against, whichever one it hits, the main target is going to get 25% more damage out of all of that, right? The third skill that she has increases her own attack by 39 seconds and selects one ally to be your playmate. Now, the playmate or triggers a follow-up after the playmate does damage with a persona skill. Makes your next 2 follow-up do 132.9 electric damage for 2 turns, and increases the chance to trigger a big project start to be fixed by 10% for 2 turns. Now, the only thing about this is that Pridewin themselves are not really explaining what a big project start is. From what I'm getting from this skill though, is that, like, let's just say you have like Joker on your team, she can trigger Joker to be her playmate, and then she does a follow-up attack whenever Joker does a persona skill, if that makes sense. In terms of her highlight, increases the own attack of 34.2%, increases follow-up damage by 24.4% for 2 turns, and then you would trigger a follow-up attack after any allies do damage with skills for 1 turn. In terms of her 2 skills on her, her follow-ups do 30% more damage to foes inflicted with shock, And then the other skill is when a playmate is present, which is of course, like I said, is the skill that targets someone else on your team. Increases the crit rate and attack of that character by 12%. So YUI and the playmate get a crit rate buff of 12% and attack percent 12%. Duplicates, I'm not really going to cover the duplicates. I'll just link the Pride win down below, because I'm sure that majority of people that are pulling for these units are just going to stay at A0. But I will link that information down below if you do want to see that. In terms of like her best teams, they're not out yet, obviously, because we don't have YUI in the game, and the builds are not ready for her as well, because at least when I'm recording this video, a lot of people haven't got to farming Arcana cards for these characters. But of course, I give you the information about YUI so you can just plan ahead if you want to go and pull a new lightning DPS. I'm sure she won't be bad. Like I said, this is the beginning of Global's launch, so she will be good for a very long time. But of course, if you go look on Pride Win and you see the current landscape of the game, she does fall off really hard. So if you want to invest in that, just do your research. Do more research than the research that I gave for you, if that makes sense. Now, the next character that we're going to go over is Minami. Now, Minami is a 5-star bless unit that is a medic, and she's still one of the best characters in this game to this day. You can look on Pride Win to see the current landscape of the Chinese version, and she's a top 2 sustain. So she's going to have a very long lifespan on your account. And the best thing about her is that once her banner ends, I've been told and I've heard from people that have played the Chinese versions that her banner is going to get moved, or the character specifically is going to get moved to the standard banner. So give you guys some nice little tidbit information. If you can see right here, this is the current standard banner where I'm at 40 out of 80 and 40 pulled out of 300. But I already have Yao Ling and I already have Ann. So what I'm going to do is when Minami gets added to the standard banner, whenever that may be, I have no idea. I'm sure someone can let y'all know down below in the comment section when that update happened. But she will be like somewhere over here where you can just select her out of the 300 pulls that you did. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my copy for free and I'm going to save my pulls. The 4 stars that are going to be in her banner though, now this banner is a little nasty, I'm not gonna lie, because the 4 stars on them, of course we have Seiji, one of the best 4-star win DPS characters that we have Leo, which is one of the best debuffers in the game in terms of 4 stars, and we have Shun, who is another super cracked character, right? Like her banner is kind of insane. So if you want to pull for this banner, honestly, I'm gonna lie, it's like a 10 out of 10. You get a super cracked 5-star, and the 4 stars are super cracked. I'm really looking forward to this banner. But like I said, she's a 5-star blessed medic. Her first skill does 56.9% max HP to one foe and gives all allies 1 stack of bless and gains 1 stack of nectar. Now, once again, like I said, Pride Win doesn't explain like what these stacks are, so I will be making a more dedicated video once we get closer to the release of this character, basically talking about the skills in more depth and like what the wording means or the verbs mean for her skills, right? But the next skill restores 17.4% max HP plus 148 HP to one ally and one other low ally or the lowest ally, and dispels 2 debuffs, which is kind of crazy. And it gives all healed allies 1 stack of bless and restores 14% of HP at the start of their turn for 2 turns, and it gains 1 stack of nectar. And you consume all of nectar and immediately restore 15.8% of max HP plus 1,347 to the main target and restore the same amount to the ally with the lowest HP twice. Repeat this 1 time. Each stack of nectar consumed increases all other allies max HP by 7.5%. That's what her 3rd skill does. Now her highlight restores 17.6% of max HP plus 1,500 to all allies, dispels 1 buff, gain 17% max HP as max HP up to 2,326 HP for 2 turns. They also restore 6.5% of max HP per turn. So the highlight's really great, right? Dispels debuffs, boosts your max HP, and restores HP. So it's really good. Now turns over 2 core skills, increase the damage of the heal target by 15%. Up to 30% for 1 turn, and the second one is the start of battle increases all allies max HP by 10%. And like I said, for the same thing for the YUI section, I will leave a link down below so you guys can see the dupes that she gets, how better much she gets from the dupes. But like I said, I'm keeping them at A0, so I'm not really gonna go over that. I'm sure like a lot of people are gonna be doing that as well. And the last character that we're gonna go over is Yusuke. Now Yusuke is a 5-star ice element character that is part of the sweeper path, and the 4 stars are going to be on his banner. We have Tomoko, we have Yukimi, and we have Kotane. Now, in terms of the banner itself, these 4 stars are kind of like, even right now, kind of some, not the worst in the game, but like, they're all right. Like, I use Tomoko on my second team. I like what she does. Specifically, she's not really that good of a character, but I like what she does for the team that I'm running. In terms of the skills on Yusuke though, the first one is the deals 72.1% defense as ice damage to all foes with a 100% base chance to inflict the main target with freeze for 2 turns. Now Yusuke scales off defense if that wasn't obvious from the first skill. As well as the second skill, Yusuke does 92% defense as ice damage to a random foe 5 times, prioritizing foes that have not been attacked yet. When you have a shield on them, additionally increase the skill's damage by 30%, decreases the skill's damage by 60% when attacking the same foe up to a maximum of 20%. That's an AoE freeze, like slash, right? Now, that's actually gonna be really nice because especially with Miyu, since he kind of wants shields on him, I feel like him and Miyu would be kind of crazy. The third skill that they have is Ginka Zashin. It's going to be upgrade Fox next Dragon Dance to Dragon Roar. Increases the chance to trigger counter to 100%. And increases skill multiplier by 58.6 defense. It turns it into an AoE attack. Automatically triggers Dragon's Roar if you haven't triggered it for 1 turn. You gain 19.5 defense plus 55 as a shield, or 555, sorry, as a shield for 2 turns. Turns your weakness into neutral and gains immunity to mental ailments and taunt all foes for 2 turns. Oh my god. I ain't gonna lie, Yusuke sound crazy, don't he? And combat skills for the highlight, it does 100% or 178.1% defense as ice damage to all foes and increase the chance to trigger Dragon Dance by 35%. And the second skill is when gaining a shield, increase damage bonus of 7.5% for 2 turns up to 6 stacks. And the passive on himself and other persona is when using skills that give shield, increases Fox's pin by 20%. Now I'm not gonna lie, gang, Yusuke sounds crazy, bro. Like, scaling off of defense is one thing, but like him having synergy with Miyu, because Miyu grants shields and he's just like an AoE taunter, like that's kind of nasty in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely looking forward to Yusuke. I mean, he's one of my favorite players, or one of my favorite people in Persona 5 in general, right? Probably after Ryuji and Akechi. Those are like my top 2. I would put Yusuke in my top 3 in terms of the characters from P5, but that's a whole different conversation for a whole different video. But that's all 3 characters that are coming within the next month of Persona 5X. If you did enjoy this video, I found it informational, make sure you get on there, subscribe, and hit the thumbs up button for your boy. And of course, I'll be bringing you guys more guides and more gameplay videos on P5X. I just got to get my player account level up so we can get to the end game and get to farming Arcana cards and stuff like that. But shout out to everybody that have been showing me love on the videos. They mean so much. And as well as pulling up to the streams, whether they have been on YouTube or Twitch, I really do appreciate it. Other than that though, I will catch y'all in the next video.